you only put $70,000 in the first place. You've just made all your money back now, but you have the property, it's fully rented, you're cash flowing, and you can take that $70,000, go and buy the next one, repeat until you're a millionaire, repeat that until you're a billionaire. Suddenly you get to rule the world because you own every multifamily in America. Welcome to my classroom. I'm Chris Collette, the real estate professor. So it's cold out, even though it's November and it's like 90 degrees. Let's pretend that it's cold out because today we're gonna talk about the BRRRR method of investing. So last video in our investor series, we talked a little bit about what a cap rate is. Now, cap rate is analyzing the property as an investment itself. The BRRRR method is a method of taking those good investments and how do we scale up? How do we buy 1, 2, 3, 4 properties in a row? And the BRRRR method is a way that so many investors have done it to go from 1 property to 5 to 50 to 1,000 properties or 1,000 doors. So step 1 in the BRRRR method is to buy. Our goal is to make as much money in the buy, not just later, but actually in the process of buying. That's really where you make a lot of your money. You want to find a realtor who is investor friendly and knows how to find properties maybe that are selling for less than we know what they would really be worth after renovation and renting, or maybe properties that are off market so that you don't have as much competition because there's a big open house with a million other offers, right? So first we want to buy and try to get a good deal on that property. Step 2 is to renovate. Our goal is to increase the equity in the house, and we do it by renovating the kitchen, slapping up new paint, putting in new counters, maybe fixing that roof, doing whatever it is that it takes to raise the equity in the home because the house is just worth more. The more important step to the renovation is that you actually get to rent it out for more money every month. This creates cash flow, which explains why the next step, the next R, is to rent it. So at this point, we're gonna rent the property. This creates cash flow every month for us. Once you've rented the property, you're making money every month. You go to a bank and you, at this point, refinance. You say to them, I want to use your cash out refinance loan, which is where they'll give you, in today's market, usually up to about 70% or so of the equity you have in the house. You take that money, you've now made your money back for your down payment, closing costs, and renovation. You take that money, you still own the property, which is cash flowing for you every month. You take that money and you then move forward and buy your next property with that money. Maybe you buy a bigger property, maybe you buy one that's a better deal, has more units, and you work your way up, you do it again, which is the last R, repeat. So we're gonna buy it, we're gonna renovate it, we're gonna rent it for more money than it was rented before, we're gonna refinance it, and we're gonna repeat. This BRRRR method is a great way to invest. So let's do a quick example, give you an idea. Let's say you buy a $200,000 two-family, $100,000 per unit, about $200,000. Now, most lenders are going to want you to put 20 or 25% down. We'll use 25% down because the math's a little bit easier this way. So 25% down is going to give us $50,000 as a down payment. If we are renovating, let's say maybe $10,000 per unit, you change out a couple of appliances, slap up some fresh paint, do some cleaning, maybe you got to fix something over here, there's a $2,000 plumbing repair that gets the washer and dryer up and running, something like that. So we're gonna spend a total of about $20,000 in repair. That renovation takes us from $50,000 to acquire, plus $20,000, we're up to $70,000. At this point though, we can rent it. We can rent it for more money than we could before these renovations. And maybe this is why we got a good deal on it, because the last guy didn't wanna renovate it. He didn't wanna spend that money. It's why he wanted to sell in the first place. So we rent it out, let's say it's maybe two bed units. So we can rent these out for, call it $1,200 a month. If you're in a place like Worcester, you could get 13, 14, maybe 15. If you're in more of the suburbs, Western Mass, maybe less than that, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. Let's use 1,200 just to make the math a little bit easy. 1,200 times 2 is $2,400 a month. Well, at this point, if you take a look at how much you've actually put down in your down payment, let's say your costs for the month on your borrowing of $160,000 is maybe $1,200 a month, $1,300, $1,400. Well, if you're making $2,400 and your expenses are $1,200, you're cash flowing $1,200 per month into your pocket to pay for whatever is going to happen next. And what's going to happen next is that you're going to cash out refinance. So let's say this property is now worth $260,000. It was worth $200 when you bought it. Now it's worth $260,000. That difference of $100,000, because remember, you only borrowed $160,000. So you now have equity of $100,000. you could cash out refinance 70% of that. So the bank will say, you're basically going to take a loan against the equity that you already have of $70,000. Here's $70,000 of your equity right back. You take that $70,000, now remember, you only put $70,000 in the first place. You've just made all your money back now, but you have the property, it's fully rented, you're cash flowing, and you can take that $70,000, go and buy the next one, repeat until you're a millionaire, repeat that until you're a billionaire. Suddenly you get to rule the world because you own every multifamily in America. So if you have questions about investing in Massachusetts or New Hampshire, call me, call my team. Let's warm up with some multifamilies. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm Chris Collette, the real estate professor.